great Canadian joke book. And yeah, he was. I wanted to pick this book for a couple of reasons. One, he got this from, I believe, from Qantas. Yeah, and he signed it. It's really neat. There's signatures in the front. I'll leave it out here if anybody wants to read it. But there are, warning you, there's a lot of dirty jokes in there. I'm not going to read a dirty one, but I'm going to read a very long one because he likes to, normally my dad likes to talk a little bit longer than that. So I seem to have gotten that trait, although I don't talk a whole lot. I'm a little bit quiet around large groups. And another reason I picked the Canadian one, there are a lot of folks from Canada that came down. I just wanted to thank you all for coming so far to visit Peter. It really means a lot to next to Ken, I suppose, and I'm sure to him. So thank you very much for that great distance you all traveled. A lot of you came. Appreciate that. So here we go. An American decides to write a book about famous churches across the United States and Canada. He begins his research in Florida and plans to work his way north and end his journey in Toronto. On his first day, he is inside a church in Miami when he notices a golden telephone mounted on the wall with a sign under it that reads $10,000 per call. He asks the priest what the telephone is used for. The priest explains that the golden telephone offers parishioners a direct line to heaven, and that for $10,000 anyone can talk to God. The American thanks the priest for the information and leaves the church. The researcher's next stop is in Atlanta. He visits a large cathedral in the center of the city and is surprised to see a similar golden telephone with a $10,000 per call sign under it. He asks a nun what it is for. She tells him the same story, that it offers a direct line to heaven and that for $10,000 anyone can use it to talk to God. So he thanks her and continues on his journey. The researcher then travels to Washington, Philadelphia, Boston, and New York, and in every church he visits he sees these golden telephones with the now familiar $10,000 per call signs under them. The American eventually crosses the border into Canada, where he heads for Toronto's huge St. Michael's Cathedral. Sure enough, he sees another golden telephone. But this time, the sign under it reads 25 cents per call. He's baffled by this, so he decides to ask the priest about the price. Father, he says, I've traveled all over the United States, and I've seen these golden telephones in almost every church I've visited. I'm told they offer parishioners a direct line to heaven, but in every state in the Union, the price is $10,000 per call. Why is it so cheap here? The priest smiles and says, you're in Canada now, my son. It's a local call. So I'm going to do my brother the honors of reading what he had written. My brother Carter. I couldn't make it here today. You want to pass this on. This is a message from Carter, my brother. So here we go. Yes, I know I should be present, but I am in Canada and couldn't make it back in time. Yes, a working vacation got in the way. I'm sure my father would approve. My mother and him vacation to Canada for months, many a summer. It is winter and I'm way east of where they went, but hey, it counts, right? I know my dad would not want us upset at him leaving. I was, sometimes still am, but I know he led his life on his terms. Well, for the most part, right, Mom? I remember the many things we did, the two of us working on cars, a Kiwanis club, and as a family camping in Yosemite, traveling to Canada, the desert, even the river, and there was so much more. I will always remember Dad. I was lucky to get to spend a lot of quality time with the Petre in the end. Before he went in, I got to walk into the hospital, he means. Yeah, I got to walk and talk with him In the hospital, I sat with him into the night. We talked, and I heard more stories. Some I just learned. I got some new stories, too, from him the last few weeks. Great. This was my father. He had some great stories, as you all may know. My dad also heard many times, "Dan, Pete, you're just like your son." To which he would reply, "No, I don't think so. He's just like me." I'm proud of that. I also think Rachel, my daughter, got many of these traits as well. Good, but poor kid. Sorry, Rachel. I know how much you love Papa. Thanks, Rachel. Rachel. To my mom and brother and sisters, remember Dad as he lived. He loves us all. He will in all of us. Or he will live in all of us. To friends, thank you all. I hope my father touched you all. Please keep him in your heart. I'm proud to be his son and his friend. Thanks for everything, Dad. I love you. Carter out. Adrian, proud to be his son too. Thank you.